What's going on, ladies and gents, man? It's time to get ghetto on one time. But see, today's episode might be a little bit different. You feel what I'm saying? So we're gonna bring it all to the table. But now, I feel like today's episode, man, we're gonna keep the train rolling. But we're gonna get into a little bit more like life skills today. You feel what I'm saying? Because I feel like I can kind of get you a podcast that can do both. Not only talk reckless, but also give a lot of motivation, man. Welcome to Ghetto Wealthy. It's your boy Funkadelic Jones. We sponsored by Anchor, Spotify, I See You, Apple Podcasts, what's happening, YouTube, y'all feel me? I'm in the house yet again, you feel what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and get funky with it one time. These are this episode right here, but these are my 4 keys to life. Because I feel like personally everybody should adapt these methods. These 4 keys of life of being successful in anything. You know, jobs, relationships. I just felt like these are like the 4 keys to life when it comes to that. Now and again, there's no particular order. But the 4 things that I always use is adjust, change, compromise, sacrifice. 4 things, right? Adjust, change, compromise, sacrifice. The 4 things that I use in life that kind of help me get through. You feel what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Because when you think about it, right? Let's start with adjusting. Adjusting can be used in a lot of aspects of life. It can, right? It can be used in every aspect of life. So, prime example would be when you move into your first place, right? You move to your first apartment. Mind you, you just coming from living at your parents' house. You be spending money recklessly, right? You be over there like, man, because you know some parents don't make you pay bills. They might help you. They might ask you to help groceries or something like that, but you ain't really paying a whole bunch of bills. Now again, you might ain't got a whole bunch of responsibilities in the crib either. But then when you move out, you get your own spot. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all right now, because a lot of people always used to be like, when I get my own spot, I'm gonna be doing this. When I get my own spot, I'll be doing that. I'm gonna tell you like this. When you get your own spot, you ain't about to be doing none of that stuff that you talking about. Because trust me, when rent due, if your place come with utilities, I'm the type of person like this. I don't have a whole bunch of people over my spot. Hell to the no. But anyway, going from living at home with your parents and getting your first place, you have to make a big adjustment. You do. You gotta make a big adjustment. Because it's like, you used to your parents, you used to just being in the house, you can spend money recklessly, you can do what, like, so you can just blow money crazy. But then when you get on your own, you realize, see, when you live with your parents, you semi-rich because you like, man, I ain't got no bills. I'm over here just buying stuff just because. When you live on your own, you really find out how broke you are. I'm telling you, right? You really find out how broke you are when you live on your own. Because you feel like, oh, you're like, your parents may shop at Safeway and BJ's and Costco's and y'all got all this stuff like that. Until you walk into BJ's and Costco's yourself and see how expensive it really is. I'm gonna be all real with y'all. Y'all can hate me if y'all want to. I make some kind of money. I don't shop at Safeway or Giant. None of them places. Why? I walk out there, I can walk in there and only grab 15 things and already spend $200. I shop at Lidl's. Do the math. I can walk in Giant and Safeway, pick up 15 things for $300, or I can go to Lidl's, pick up 15 things and only spend like 95. 95 to 100. I mean, That's a big difference right there. That's a big savings right there. Again, when you move out, you gotta realize what you can and cannot afford. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but that's just how you gotta live out here. I'm being all the way honest with y'all. Ain't no shame in my game. I would rather go shop at Lidl's than gotta go shop at Safeway. And hey, I'm just me. It gets me through. I got groceries in here. I ain't starving. As my mother always say, hey, at least you ain't starving. She got a point. she got a point though. But anyway, yeah, you use things like that. So going from like your parents' house to living on your own, that's adjusting. You know what I'm saying? That's adjusting. Now you gotta change. You gotta change some of your habits that you had when you was living at your parents' house. So now you live on your own. Now you gotta make some changes. You like, damn, I can't do that no more. Let me do this. I can't do that no more. Let me do this. See? Called changing is adjusting, changing. Sometimes they go hand in hand. You dig what I'm saying? They go hand in hand. Now, when you get to a job, same rules apply. Adjusting, changing. Compromising sometimes is in there as well. But when you get to a job, now for me, prime example, I had to learn this too. Because yes, I done worked at Ross, I done worked at TJ Maxx, and I worked at Burlington. I worked at all three of them. Before I moved on to uniform security, before I moved on. Right? Let's be real for a second. Ross, TJ Maxx, and Burlington are all the same type of store. They little discounted retail stores. I used to do loss prevention in all three of them. I realized that they all three was different. Alright? Ross loss prevention is different from TJ Maxx. Loss prevention is different from Burlington. So guess what? I had to change and adjust to each of those styles. Ross was my first job. Hey, Ross was my first job. Once I left Ross with the TJ Maxx, I was like, oh, this is serious. Cause now they do things different. Now they was really into like some security, some real life. They take the loss prevention serious. Like Ross was like a prime example, right? As loss prevention, we didn't get employees fired. They had somebody handle that for us. At TJ Maxx, we actually had to build cases on people. I said, God damn. Like, damn. You actually had to build cases. You actually had to watch associates. You had to watch them. Burlington was semi the same to TJ Maxx, but it was a little bit loose rules and stuff like that. But hey, either way, so going from observing to actually being behind the desk, watching the cameras was a lot different though, man. So, you had to make that adjustment. You had to, and then on top of that, I had different bosses too. So I had to change and adjust to how they do work. I had one dude who was, I ain't like I said, by the time when I got there, he was only there a couple of weeks, then he had moved on to a new job. Then I ended up with the micromanager boss. So I had to change and work with and adjust to her. I was like, that was a pain in the ass by itself. You know what I'm saying? When I was at Burlington, same situation, right? When I first got to Burlington, I worked at the most hood joint known to man around my way. But then again, like I walked in that joint with a bullseye on my back. Not by the employees, by the managers. The managers didn't like LP. So that's when I transferred to a more quiet, stable situation. Now TJ Maxx was a little bit different. When I walked into my store at TJ Maxx, I had a bullseye on my back by the employees because of what the old LPs used to do to them. So, yeah, that don't suck, didn't it? So I had to break the ice. Crazy. Adjusting, changing. You know what I'm saying? I had to show people who I was. I had to show people I wasn't the bad guy. But you got to change. Each system Each system in each place is different. You go. You cannot be that employee that be in that job. At this job, we used to do this. Like, you can't be like, I'm not going to change type of person. Like, oh, we used to do this, or we used to do that. Hey, you're the new place. You're the new place of employment. So this is how we do it. I don't understand why we got to do it like, hey, that was there. This is here. This is a new place of employment. You feel what I'm saying? Be all real with you. Now, some people at the job be throwing me off because how y'all want to move up at a company, but then don't want to change or don't want to adjust to your new bigger role. You go from being just a regular employee to a shift supervisor to a manager, right? They go in there jumping, all right, so this is what I need you to do every night. You got to count the money. You got to bring a shipment in. You got to do this. You got to do this. Like, they got a list of things for you to do every time. You the shift manager. You talking about I ain't about to be doing all that. How you not trying to change? You want more. It's like you want more money, but you're not about to do the responsibilities come with it. That don't make any sense. That's what moving up the ladder is. You gotta sit in meetings. You gotta sit in meetings. You might gotta count money. You might gotta do this. You gotta do that. And you gotta change. You gotta change yourself because of that. I'm saying, I'm being all real with you. All right. Now the last one. Of course, we're gonna say the best for last. Relationships. Right? Relationships. You got to adjust to you gotta adjust to relationships. You got to change for relationships, not change who you are completely. And you also gotta compromise in a relationship, and you got sometimes sacrifice in a relationship too. So, with that being said, I'm gonna use myself prime example. Every girl that I dated was not the same. So this is where a lot of men get caught up in that situation. Even females, when they be like, all niggas are the same. All these females are the same. No, you might got a same type. That's why you stay in that comfort zone, because you got a type. Once you got a type, that's why you go in there with that same mindset of I'm not going to change, because you have a type. But when you don't have a type, when you be like, oh, you're like, oh, so she's not the same as her. Oh. So that means what? You gotta now adjust. You gotta adjust to a lot of different things. You do. You feel me? Cause like if your ex used to be one of them girls to be like, oh, a man gotta do this, a man gotta do that. Then you got this girl who over here more, she's not about that. Now you over thinking like, I'm not used to this. So guess what? You gotta adjust to what you're not used to. That's why I never understood when ladies say, they be like, I'm not used to this. Like, I never understood people in general who be like, I'm not used to this. So if it's something you're not used to, that means it's new. Why would you mess up something new? If you go from toxic to a dude who potentially might be your husband, I mean, let's just be real. Ladies, why would you mess that up? Fellas, you used to toxic. Now you found your potential bride. Why would you mess that up? And a lot of people will mess it up because this is not something that they are accustomed to. You feel me? Like, they're not accustomed to this, so they're like, you know what, I'm about to go mess this up because of the fact. That, hey, I knew this is new to me. Why would you mess that up? Relationships is all about compromising. Like if y'all about to move in for the first time together, right? Y'all like, hey, okay, is it close to your job? Or like, you might gotta look, okay, is this close to your job? Is it close to my job? Or are we moving over here? Like, y'all gotta start compromising. Okay? You gotta start compromising. Okay, you got me having the middle. Now again, if you got same thing, if you dating somebody who got kids already, you gotta adjust to that. You gotta be like, okay, the kid always gonna be around, can't do this, can't do that. It's a whole bunch of compromising and changing in life. You feel what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to relationship, if you are doing more sacrificing, now some sacrifice could be good, some sacrifices are bad. Now, if you know, well, actually, I won't say I won't say sacrifice is bad in most cases, but because let's say like your girl go away to college and you want this to work, that's compromising too. And you want to make this work. That's compromising. Because you want to be there when she get out of college. That's 4 years. You only can see her on the weekends when you go up there type of thing. You know she's going to be busy with her studies. That's compromising. Now, if you are in a relationship and you doing more sacrificing, if you're sacrificing for something good, you're like, hey, look, I know this job might be good for me. Like, let's say if y'all got kids, but you like, look, I'm not gonna be able to get off to pick the kids up type of thing. So I'm gonna have to adjust my hours, or I can't take it because it don't work with what we got going on as far as our family situation. That's a good sacrifice for him. You feel what I'm saying? He want this good job, but he like, look, I'm gonna have to stay right here, work with this for now, cause you know it may not work. It may not work with what he got going on with his family. We understand that. We dig that. All right? But if you're in a position where you're sacrificing, and this just be like, if one person is like, I'm not going to do this, and you got always be the, fine, we'll just do it your way. That means you're sacrificing. You know what I mean? If a girl hits you with the, I'm not doing this, so what you about to do? Oh, I'm good like this, so what you about to do? Fam, I'm not going to lie to y'all brothers. If you ever get caught up in that situation where she tell you she ain't about to do nothing or she good where she at, walk away. With that being said, ladies and gents, it's yours truly, Mr. Funkadelic Jones. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.